Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of our coaching session here. I'm Alex, back with Brian, aka Half Pump on Twitch and Twitter. If you haven't joined us for this before, we're trying to get Brian to Mythic, over the course of a few weeks, going over drafts, going over gameplay, going over anything that might need improvement, and you can watch along the way and see if you can learn something from this process as well. Brian, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm actually coming off of a high here. So I just ended my stream right before our session and managed to get my second trophy in Foundations. And
Nice.
the running joke is I've managed to secure one trophy per set. So I got one in Bloomburrow and one in Duskmorn. But now I officially have two in
You've doubled it.
Foundations, and I doubled it. We're 100% progress right now.
Awesome.
And that's helping the run because I'm also now the furthest I've ever been into platinum with, I believe, I am platinum 3 with 3 pips. So that's the
Nice.
furthest I've ever been.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. That's good. Puts us on the right track for what we're about to do today. So, we're going to do the full everything today. We're going to go through the draft. We're going to go through the gameplay. Last time we kind of split it up into 2 videos. This time we figured, we got to get the hang of things here. And I think people want to see both the draft and gameplay, get some commentary from both of our sides. All sound good to you, Brian?
It sounds great. Let's do it.
Awesome.
All right, we'll jump in here.
Yeah, let's do
Confirm
it.
the purchase. We went infinite too because we got the 7 wins. So
Nice.
this is no free draft. There you go.
Exactly. And it is magic in a lot of ways of getting better. Is like the rich get richer sometimes, where it's like, hey, if I did well, I can play more, and then I can get better, right? It kind of feels, not so great. We're in that rut of like, oh no, I want to learn this format more, but I lost 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go poor really quick too. We always talk about the mathematical milestones that I'm really targeting. Like 4 wins is great mathematically because it's a 57% win rate. Like that will get you into Mythic if you can average 4 wins.
Yep.
5 wins is great because now you're infinite. You get 1,600 gems. So you've earned 100 gems. Everything after that is just really a cherry on top. So I really kind of focus on those 2 areas, 4 to 5 wins.
Yeah, great to lay those out, by the way. So 'cause I'm sure a lot of people don't even know those are kind of the break points. And I would also say, some people are, they feel kind of not so great. I hear this all the time, like, oh, my deck was so good, but I went 6-3 instead of 7-2. I didn't trophy. That's still a great win rate. Don't get too down on yourself. So just as long as you're aiming for that 4 or 5 wins and you're hitting that consistently, I think you're in a good place.
Yeah, you could reasonably cruise through. I mean, those that do Mythic every year or every season in Constructed, you look at their win rate, it's like 55, 57%.
Right.
You got to grind a little bit more in those situations, but you can get there reasonably. Yep. And if you get to that 5, like I said, you average that, you're, like you said, rich get richer. So you're making that back. And then the other fun part is once you get all the packs and you fill out your collection, every additional pack just ends up being gems and you get more gems. So it is really easy to kind of get there once you can get the hang of it here.
Well, we have opened a bit of a stinker of a pack. You want to talk through your thoughts on where your eyes are drawn to?
Yeah, I was thinking a big old pile of poopy is what I was thinking. When one of the strongest cards here is a dual land.
Yeah, a little bit rough.
Yeah. Black is performing okay. I do like black in the black-white, black-red decks. Card draw engines are always really nice. So my eye really kind of goes to Phyrexian Arena first. I do like the Luminous Rebuke as well, just because it's super strong. White removal and white is also another really strong card. The rest of them, you kind of can't go too wrong with Think Twice if you're going to get into blue. But I wouldn't really grab a dual land up front. So I'll probably just grab Phyrexian Arena as where I'd target.
Yeah, I think Arena or Luminous Rebuke or even Think Twice, probably Think Twice less so. Either of those first 2 are pretty reasonable first picks. Nothing exciting. If we see something awesome in this pick in a different color, we're happy to jump ship. And yeah, let's see what we have here.
So a couple options. I really do like Flame Wake Phoenix, especially in red, because red does have a lot of cards that have a 4 power in them. So it's really easy to kind of trigger that Phoenix and get it back out on the board every turn. But Dazzling Angel is really sweet, especially in the black-white. A lot of life gain synergy decks going on in the black-white. So I know the rare is Flame Wake Phoenix, uh, but I'm leaning towards the life gain, especially with a Phyrexian Arena, just because that's going to lose me life. If I have ways to gain life, this just becomes free card draw.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think the Angel is just the better card. Flamewake Phoenix has the real unfortunate downside of pretty much never being able to block. You can block the first turn it comes down if you play it main phase too. But
Hmm.
even in the most aggressive decks in limited, not being able to block is actually a pretty big downside because sometimes you face another aggro deck and you just need to block. So I would actually say Angel's like quite a bit better, and I'm very happy to take it there.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's good. This one we actually have some pretty decent options.
Yeah.
I like Burglar Rat. Stripping cards out of your hand is really advantageous and limited. Uh, go wide is always nice. Plus, that's going to trigger Dazzling whenever
Mm-hmm.
another creature. Also, Dauntless Veteran I've seen just win games. It's good whenever this attack. All creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Love to be able to have both of those together because then you can do some stuff. But um, for me here, I would probably lean towards the Dauntless Veteran.
So I would
Uh,
take the reinforcements here. I actually it sounds to me that I'm quite a bit lower on Dauntless Veteran than you are. So I think Dauntless Veteran is solid and can be very good in some decks, right? I would even say less, solid minus, but can be very good in some decks. You don't really want to play it unless you've got like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 token makers. And
mm,
it's not that easy to do that in this format. Double pips also a problem. White, yeah, like just a lot of things that not that synergistic with what's going on in the format. Hard to cast. 3 mana 2/2. I actually think the reinforcements is quite a bit better.
yeah. Well, now we get into a really interesting one. Prideful Parent versus Felidar Savior.
Mm-hmm.
Felidar Savior. What I've been doing now with my games is if I get less than 4 wins, I go back and I do a draft replay and take a look at the cards like played win rate, in hand win rate.
Nice, good.
Um, and Felidar has an insane played win rate. It's like almost 60%. So really strong. It does turn the tide, being able to dole out 2/1/1 counters onto something. Plus, it's a lifelink 2/3 body. So I like Felidar Savior here, but also Prideful Parent is really good
Yeah.
as well, just because of the extra cat. And with white, we do have access to a lot of cat synergies. All that being said, Felidar is also a cat. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think we have 2 cats in this pack, actually. Yeah, I would
yeah.
also take the Felidar. And, usually my heuristic is when it's close, take the cheaper card. But I think Felidar is enough better. And one thing I've noticed about this set is I get filled up on the 3-drop slot very quickly. It's easy to
Hmm.
fill up on 4-drops too, but, I'm happy to diversify after we've already got a few 3-drops.
Yeah, definitely. And with that in mind, I was looking at the more cost-effective cards here. So Vengeful Blood Witch,
Mm-hmm.
especially if we're doing some tokens, going wide, things dying, that this does end up pinging them out quite a bit.
Yep.
Plus the life gain that you get from that. Another solid option actually is this combat trick, the Fleeting Flight. It
Mm-hmm.
has a pretty insane win rate too on it, just because it turns the tide of um, a particular exchange. But I think in this case, we'll probably go with a little bit cheaper body.
Yeah, for sure. I think that Vengeful. I think this card, the Blood Witch here, it's not great in every deck. I think you really do need to be making tokens for it to be good. Sort of like the 3 mana 2/2 that attacks gets only +1/+1, or the team +1/+1. I think if you're not actively sacrificing, or yeah, and I would just kind of highlight that rallier, actively sacrificing, or have a lot of tokens, the 2 mana 1/1 is a little bit just not that impressive. So really do want to be
Hmm.
in a deck that makes it good, and if you're there, it is pretty good.
Absolutely. Uh, Squad Rallier, just because I'm already looking at our board, a lot of this stuff is under 2 power.
Yep.
So being able to go find that is really nice. Plus, it's a 3/4 for 4, so it's a decent little body with an additional mechanic, and it's a non-tap mechanic, which I like. So I can trigger it at an end step. Really make sure I'm mana efficient.
Yeah, for sure. So the other thing too is that I think if we can take a white card, that's a good thing to do. There was the Marauding Blight Priest in the last pack, the 3/2 that whenever you gain life, your opponent loses life, and you kind of look at our cards and that's pretty synergistic. But we're not guaranteed to be black right now. I think we are very likely to be white, but black hasn't been flowing exactly, so I'm pretty happy to keep open to just being white something.
Yeah. And then with that in mind, since we don't quite know the direction we're going, I like Evolving Wilds
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want to take wilds, and we're kind of lucky to have it in a pack where there's nothing else that's great. I'm very happy to improve my mana base at this point. Okay.
Yeah, Soul Caller is actually pretty cool. Like being able to pull that card back out from the graveyard. It's flying 3/2 as well, so it can do some blocking for you. And then
Can
we
block,
also
actually. It specifically cannot block.
oh, it can't block. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
again, that
read.
line of text makes it a lot worse than it looks.
The second line is super helpful there.
Yeah.
Uh, so that in mind. But then the other one that we kind of talked about, that Fleeting Flight before.
Yep. I would
So
actually probably take the Fleeting Flight here. Heir Apparent, the Rabbit Maker, sort of close to, like, you don't want too many Fleeting Flights, and you might end up in a draft where we just see like 4 of those Heir Apparents. I think that Fleeting Flight is if we only get one copy, obviously Fleeting Flight is better, but
mhm,
there's some merit to speculating there too.
yeah. Grab and make your move. Get a good
Yep,
white removal.
for sure. Oh, look at this. The banner wheels. That's actually really, really great for us. Banner, that was the card I was looking at in the first pack, actually. So really happy about that.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Banner, especially if we're so solid white.
Yep.
I mean, I'll grab it, but I will likely not play
Yeah,
this.
likely not playing it. You could take the 1/1 here too, Fanatical Firebrand, but I think both of them unlikely to make your deck.
Yeah.
And
Same
then
thing
yeah,
here. Just in case we go black, we'll grab
just
that.
some stuff.
Some stuff.
So yeah,
Wow.
end of pack 1. What you thinking? Where is this draft going? What do you think is like? Do you think we're in open-ish colors? Oh, we open a nice bomb, so we'll highlight that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I think we're probably going black white now. Yeah, so I think we talked the strategy, right? We knew we were pretty heavy white. So we were going to continue to take the stronger white card, or if it was sort of a tie, like just grab the white card
Yep.
because we knew that was going to be where we were going to be. And then Phyrexian Arena I still think is great. Grabbing the Heraldic Banner, great because of the white. Now it's also going to go well with this Alenda. And then we got a little bit of mana fixing as well. So all in all, I think we know solid white, probably now moving white black because of Alinda. And there's still some great synergies that we can do here with angels or cats. And if we're in black, we have access to some really good removal. So I don't mind kind of keeping that in mind as we move forward here.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I think I would frame slightly differently here is that while Alinda pushes us towards black white, certainly, I would also be open to the idea of just splashing Alinda in a white, white blue deck, white whatever deck. We've got the Evolving Wilds. She's easy to splash. So while I'm guessing we're like 80% or maybe a little bit less than that, maybe like 60% to be black white. Keeping our options open still, I would say.
Yeah. So with that in mind, another Dazzling Angel just does absolute work.
Yep. Angel's great.
It's hard because I know there's some other good options here with like another Felidar, which has a great played win rate. Burglar Rat's always fun, but Dazzling Angel is definitely the best one here.
Yeah, for sure. And one actually, we have a moment here because this is a pretty straightforward Dazzling Angel. Talking about stats quickly, the most important stat that I like to look at, and we don't have to get into the depths of why it's important, but game in hand win rate. GIHWR. Yeah, that's it. That's the one that I think is just like the most all-encompassing. If you or anybody else is just looking at stats and want one number, game in hand win rate's the one you want.
Game in hand win rate.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. This one's not super exciting. Maybe snag a Heir Apparent for just a little 2/2 body that might do something. Other than that, Fake Your Own Death. It could be amazing on like an Alinda if we need to save it for whatever reason. So I'd probably lean more towards like a Fake Your Own Death here.
Yeah, me too. I think that Fake Your Own Death is currently looking okay. Like, we've got a few enter the battlefield effects. We've got the Felidar Savior, the Resolute Reinforcements. That's kind of what you like Fake Your Own Death pairing it with, just good enter the battlefield effects. Or creatures like Alinda that, want to be saved.
Probably grabbing the removal here.
Yeah, definitely. The other option is Vessel, and Vessel is like, in the same ballpark power level wise, but we are definitely lacking removal right now. I think that is a priority of this deck. We just need to pick up a few more removal spells.
Yeah, what do we have? Basically, make your move. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, which I would hope not to play, basically. So, yeah, let's pick up some stabs, some more bags. Oh, there we go. Some more bags. Also, an Eat
Ooh,
Alive. And there's some decks where Eat Alive is actually better than Bake if you've got enough sacrifice fodder. I don't think that's this deck, though. I don't think
y-
we're currently in that spot.
yeah. We were in my last one. That was a fun one. Youthful Valkyrie,
Ooh, nice.
good catch. So
Yeah.
white is still wide open.
Yeah, White's
If we're
White's been
seeing
open.
pack 2, pick 7, we're getting insane cards.
Oh my gosh, speaking of
Um,
which, yeah, jeez.
another Felidar. Also something to keep in mind if this Inspiring Paladin does wheel, the fact that, we might be doling out some 1/1 counters with cats, as well as wasn't that Youthful Valkyrie gets +1/+1. So now these things get first strike. But I think we just take the cat here.
So I would take a cat, but I would take the other cat. I would take the Helpful Hunter here because I think Hunter is a better card. And also, looking at our curve right now, it's very 4-drop heavy, right? We have got a lot of 4s at this point, and we want to make sure that we
Yeah.
have way more 2s than 4s, essentially. So I would, even if I thought that pick was like, the Feldar was a little bit of a better card, which I think that the Hunter's a little bit better, I would still go for the cheaper option there.
Gotcha. Grab another Evolving Wilds here.
Yep, great. Yeah, Waz is going to be good because we've got like double black in our mana costs, so I think we're actually going to be pretty appreciative of the fixing that it provides.
Junk.
Junk-ish. We probably take the backwaters tier. There's like a non-zero chance that we splash. Like if we open a good blue-black gold card, like say the Dreadwing Scavenger, we might actually end up playing it now because we have 3 sources with 2 wilds and the backwaters.
Gotcha. We'll just grab one of these.
Yep, just stuff that doesn't matter too much. So now that we're picking stuff that doesn't matter too much, let's do the other view of the deck. Just seeing the the cards laid out, and seeing what do we need. I think actually this draft's given us a lot of goodies for free. Just like you said, White's been pretty open. But if we're to be picky here, what are we looking for in pack 4 or pack 3? I wish there was a pack 4.
Yeah, pack 4 would be great.
Yeah.
So definitely need to focus on a little bit more removal.
Yep.
We have our dual land here. We talked about splashing. We could potentially grab something like a Consuming Aberration, but all that to be said, removal I think is one of the higher priorities, and then rounding out some of our synergies.
Yeah, and I think this deck is a little bit synergy light, but good card heavy, which is fine to be, right? Like, if most of your cards are just really strong, which I think ours are for the most part, you don't have to be super duper worried about synergies. I would take out of this pack Helpful Hunter though. That's another thing that twice now that we've seen this card, I've wanted to take it, and you want to maybe take something else. That might be somewhere where you're underrating Hunter potentially. Do you think?
Potentially. I mean, it is one of the few card draws in white, so that is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's a strong card.
Yeah, I think here is blessed healer.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Another way to retrieve a 2-cost card, so I could get the Helpful Hunter back.
Yep, card's excellent. A really strong pack actually too. Just like taking a look, we've got Spinner of Souls as a good rare that I could imagine splashing too. Like,
yeah,
we've even got that red. I think we picked up a black green dual land. So we have those 3 sources. We could splash this, but I like just taking the healer. Healer is excellent. We don't have to make our mana worse. If this was between Hawk and the rare, I might take the rare. But here, just no worries about that.
We have a lot of good options here. Another Dazzling Angel. Inspiring Paladin would help with like the 1/1 counter distribution that we're doing. But Dazzling Angel is so good. I'm actually torn here. I would go Inspiring Paladin or Dazzling Angel, with Phyrexian being in third.
Yeah, I would say that it's once again just Dazzling Angel, not very close. Dazzling Angel, we've just been seeing the praises this recording, on previous recordings too. Like, Angel's just awesome. It really, you can't go wrong with multiples. They play well in multiples too.
Yeah, and plus we have like the Youthful Valkyrie, so we can hopefully buff that up.
Yep.
So here, we don't have a ton of cat synergies, but we do have more angel synergies. So I would probably lean more towards angel finality.
Yep, for sure. And this is where I would take another look at my curve. Like, do I have too many 4-drops? We've got four drops. A fifth one won't kill us. But there are some spots where I would go for the cheaper card here instead. If we had like 6 4-drops at this point, I think we can spring for the power because we have kept our curve low. But always one of those things I'm just keeping an eye on. Just how many expensive cards does my deck have? Don't want too many.
Claws out.
Yeah, Claws Out is interesting. We might end up playing it. We might not. We're not going too wide here, but we do have quite a few cats. So yeah, I can see that card making our deck.
Perfect. Let's grab that. And because right now we're still at we're at 21 playables right now.
Yeah,
so
we need to pick up a playable or two.
Probably Vampire Soul Caller in this case.
Yeah, I could also see taking the pick because Goldvein pick. I like when you have flyers with this card. And we've got like a healthy handful of them. I think actually pick's probably a little bit better here.
It helps with the mana too.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nothing.
No, nothing here. Yeah, this could be our third Heir Apparent, but it's nothing exciting right now.
Yeah. Just go get this guy.
Seems good. All right. Okay.
Cat.
We had a cat. Yeah.
Yep.
That might make the deck.
Squad Rallier.
Yep. Probably not making the deck because we've got so many 4s already, but good to have the option. And then
nothing super excited there. Oh, we did get a Paladin.
Yeah, Paladin came back too. It's another option. And Flight comes back too. We actually could figure out that we want to play that one. All right, third one. Great. Okay.
Perfect.
So draft's over. Just your very initial impressions. How do you think that went?
So, I think it went. I think it went all right. I would like a little bit more synergies. We're lacking, I think, enough removal. So we're gonna have to take some underclassed removals here. So taking a look here, the thing that jumps out at me is a little bit lack of removal. So we're gonna have the 2 bake into the pies. We'll have make your move, which we're gonna have to keep. So our exchanges in removal are gonna probably have to come in the form of keeping maybe a couple more of these than we intended, to outright exchanges. We can probably drop that.
Yeah, so I would actually say that even though we're a little bit light on removal, you're right. We'd want 1 or 2 more. I still wouldn't play Make Your Move here. Make Your Move is a narrow enough of a card that sometimes the thing you need to kill, I'd say half the time the thing you need to kill, just isn't going to be a 4-power creature. It's going to be a cheap creature that the opponent is running you over with and you can't block that well or whatever it is. Like it's not going to be the solve that we're looking for. And so my mantra generally is just, most of the time my deck is just going to be full of the best cards in my pool. Obviously you make some concessions to synergy and your curve sometimes, but I think while I would love to have 4 or 5 removal spells, I won't play bad cards just to get to that number. Now there are some removal spells like the 6 mana the 5 mana deal 6 in red, where that's what I consider that's acceptable removal. That does actually kill something. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, it's clunky, but it will kill something no matter what. It won't get stuck in your hand. And a card that gets stuck in your hand in limited, I mean in any Magic honestly, but if you ever have a card that you can't cast, no targets, you don't have the colors to cast it, it just plummets your win rate. Really, really does. So while I do think that number in mind, keeping that number in mind of I need this many removal spells is good, you don't want to overshoot it.
No, that makes sense. I didn't think about the get stuck in your hand aspect, and you're right. That 5 mana does 6 damage. I could do 6 damage to a 1 toughness thing.
Yeah, exactly. You need to.
if I need to, right? But you can't do that with the make your move, which makes sense.
Exactly.
And so the other thing I cut then was another fleeting flight. So we'll keep 2 fleeting flights. I think the rest of it's pretty good. I don't know if I would really want to put the squad rallier in.
Yeah,
we got a
Oh, so you got good.
Other than the Squad Rallier could help me go get more Dazzling Angels.
Right.
But we
So
already
I think it really is going to depend on like how do we see this deck playing out. We talked about this last time with the black red deck, but when I say how does this deck play out in regards to like what cards we want to include, I think the most important thing to figure out is like what problems are we going to encounter, or what's the most common game state we're going to be in, like game in, game out, turn to turn. What are our games going to be looking like? Are we defending? Are we attacking? So on and so on.
Yeah, so I think since we have, it's obviously like a life gain synergy with a lot of air.
Is it
With
though? Let's stop there for a second. Do we have any synergy with life gain? I don't even think so, really. Right? It's just like life gain
well,
is
Alinda,
good. Alenda, that is true, are rare. You've got a good point. Alenda
uh,
is one rare, but that's kind of it, right?
well then so life gain, life lost too, right?
Ah,
So
yes,
Fighter X,
arena. Yeah, that is
yeah,
slightly synergistic. I'll give you that. Okay, so life gain plays a part of it, but just I think if you break it down to a more fundamental level, I wouldn't even think about like life gain, life loss, because that's not the main goal of this deck, right? Mostly, I think we're just going to be gumming up the ground, like almost like a blue-white flyer deck, gumming up the ground and winning with our flyers and maybe Elenda, right? So in that case, do we want flight? Because flight, one of the things it does is give the creature flying, and also we're going to be flying in general, so it's not like we can like make our big flyers even more flying. Giving
right.
flying to a flyer doesn't do that much, right? So I don't mind a copy. We do have some ground creatures, but I think the second copy is not going to be as good as say just the Squad Rallier. Like Squad Rallier blocks, it finds us more creatures. We're going to trade off creatures here pretty often on the ground, so I think that's more conducive to what this deck's doing.
No, I agree. And then we have a lot of the 2 toughness or 2 power, right? Yeah, it's 2 power
Yeah, lots of hits.
cards that it can go get for us, like Prideful Parent, more of the Dazzling Angels, Helpful Hunter if we need card draw, Felidar. So yeah, there's Youthful Valkyrie.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
most of our deck can go be retrieved by Squad Rallier.
Yep. All right. Mana base looks pretty good. We could go 6 swamps and 9 plains. That's probably a little better. It's a little awkward because our black cards are always exclusively double black.
Yeah.
But you do want to be careful about ending up with those like 3 swamp hands or whatever when our deck is almost all white cards.
Yeah, and with the 2 Evolving Wilds too, it's essentially 8 swamps, so we can go get a swamp if we really are hurting.
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
so yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, so go ahead and jump in and see how we can make this win. I like this deck. I'm a big fan of Orzhov. It's grindy,
Mm-hmm.
so it definitely helps.
And by the way, one thing that I will call out here, because I had a few people in the comments last time asking for us to do so, just what date did we draft this on? This is being drafted on December 17th, for those curious.
Perfect. Yep. And so this will be then my we'll keep 7. I like this start.
Yeah. Great hand.
It's going to give us access to everything here as well. So this would be my 17th draft, 18th draft
Cool.
that we'll do. So just for those that are wondering kind of where I'm at in my journey, we're posting 31 drafts for the month. So we're a little over halfway
Nice.
in that experience. So
I'm sure we'll be able to get a trophy or 2 in that time. The next.
but we already got 2.
We already got 2. Yeah.
So this is always an interesting question for me. So there's no pressure on the board. Dropping this now or saving it for its kicker, knowing that I'm going to have a strong turn 3. So that is always a toss up I have. So I mean, I like putting the body out there, but it does also help me go get my stuff if it dies.
Yeah, so a really easy way to think about this is that in Magic, the main goal is to spend your mana each turn, and whatever way this helps you spend your mana each turn is what you should do with it generally. So if you don't have a 2-drop, you should play your 2-drop. If you didn't have a 4-drop, you should keep it as a 4-drop. In this case, when we've got a lot of 4s in hands, definitely just going to run it out.
Gotcha.
Ooh,
perfect.
That's nice. Okay.
Yeah, I like an early Phyrexian.
Yeah, for sure. And we can attack first. Always good to, attack first and make them
right
do
into
something.
the stab.
Yeah,
in before stab. Uh, oh, fleeting. All right,
Okay,
whatever.
that's fine. Yeah, not a huge deal.
Not a
You
huge
know,
deal.
it's actually an interesting question here. Do you play the arena or do you play the angel? And I actually think I would play the angel here because while yes, arena is great to get down. Just it's a little bit awkward to play sometimes because it's like, oh, where do I spend 3 mana? Where do I find 3 mana to spend? They're blue black, probably more controlling. We just want to be pressuring them right now, and if they stop us, then we'll drop the arena and start taking over.
Yeah. Plus, now we ran into
All right, that's fine.
not getting a fourth land, so
Yep.
that makes this pretty easy.
Yep, absolutely.
Play this guy.
Yeah, but if we had, for example, hit that fourth land there, going Feldar looked pretty good. All right, we're just drawing all of our 4 drops. Luckily, we drew a land.
Yep, drew a land. I'd probably play Squad Rallier after I attack.
Yep. Looks good to me.
And then we can go get something fun. We got a lot of things. If we need a mana sink, but we have a lot of 4 drops, so we can work our way through our 4 drops first, and then if we need somewhere to put our mana, we can worry about this guy.
For sure. Ooh, okay, it's a pretty strong one, but we've got a pretty strong one of our own.
Yes. So, good question here. They're tapped out, so I don't have to worry about like a refute or an essence scatter. So Alinda is pretty safe to play, other than if they have any other types of removal. This is interesting. I would probably play Felidar here just to buff these guys.
I think I like getting Alenda down and then buffing Alenda, because then Alenda is going to be a 5/5, can attack past the 6 toughness here, right? If you buff the Rallier, it still can't attack past the Archmage of Runes.
Yeah. No, this, yeah, okay, yeah, because it's 5 as the first one, right? As long as life total greater than your starting total, it gets +1/+1 and has menace. Okay. Yep.
Well, that was enough, I guess.
Well,
great. All right.
that.
Easy first game.
I'm cruising here. Look at this. We might see plat 2, man.
We might. We can see it. We can see it.
It was so funny. I think it was Dustmorn. I got to platinum with 4 pips, and then just would get 1 pip, get 0 pips, 1 pip, 0 pips, 1 pip, 0. But like it was like 4 I was super stoked about. But now we're in plat 3, man.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We just have to draw a Lenda each time.
Just I got in my last draft, I had the Liliana Planeswalker, and I literally won a game one time because I just dropped it and they quit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasonable responses to that, or I should say, there's not a lot of responses to that in game, but quitting is just a pretty good response to Liliana.
So I'm gonna play Evolving Wilds first, but I don't know if I should go get the other black just to guarantee I have access to bake into the pie, or a white.
Yeah, so the reason to go get double white would be if we have multiple white spells. I think we only have 1 double white spell and claws out. So I would just go get the black source here, because number 1, it's the one that we have less of in our deck, so we're less likely to naturally draw it. And 2, we don't have a reason to have double white right now.
Yeah.
We've also got this gold vein pick, so that fixes our mana a little bit.
Perfect. And then play gold vein, pretty easy. Then we can do dazzling. Have something to block the hawk in the air. All right, they went into helpful hunter, more card draw. And we have a few of those, so we don't care too much if we end up having to lose it for some reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Iron Paladin.
3, cool.
Okay.
All right, so we have a few options here. What can we do?
Well, this is a equip 1, so probably Prideful Parent into equipping the Angel and swinging with Angel.
Yeah, so we swing with Angel, the lifelinking Hawk, and the 3/3 attack us. So actually, I think it's better here, slightly better, to just not attack. Holding back all of their stuff is better than attacking for 2, right? Because we're not going to be attacking for 3, because even though we're going to equip the pick and it's going to be 3/3, the Hawk is going to deal us 1 damage and they're going to gain a life. So we would make a treasure too, but the treasure's not going to matter that much right now. So I think it's just better to equip the Angel and be on defense here.
Would you play the Prideful Parent?
Yeah, I think playing Proudful Baron is totally fine, and we can equip the angel still. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, get some blockers out here.
Yep.
Gain some life, and then just hold.
Yeah, basically just like if you run that combat back each time, like I deal you 2, you deal me 4, we come out not so ahead in that situation.
Right.
And they don't have anything. Cool. Okay.
So I think I saved the Sun Healer simply because we have some things that we can pull back.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically if I have to block with Prideful Parent, I can bring it back, get another cat. But I don't know. Do we consider removal at this time? Maybe getting rid of this Inspiring Paladin, and then now we have outsized control of the board.
Right, so with them having so many cards in hand, I think we probably have bigger fish to fry than just a 3/3. I don't think we can afford to use one of our few removal spells on just a 3/3. And they're at 21 still, we're not pressuring that quickly. Better to use our creatures as interaction right now. So what I would do is I would just equip the Prideful Parent, get him for 3, and we get to hold up Bacon the Pie in the process. And then, if they let it through, great, we'll play the Valkyrie. And if not, then we might cast Bake if they have a trick or something.
Yeah, joust through. Make your move.
Make your move on. Okay, that is pretty annoying. So now we do have to think. Do we want to do this? Do we want to kill the paladin so our cat doesn't die? I think again, I don't think we can actually afford to. I think we need to probably save this removal spell for something a little more, a little more pressing.
Yeah, well, we could now play the Sunblessed Healer and with the kicker and get the cat back.
Healer only gets back 2 cost things. Mana value 2. Yeah, 2 or less.
Mana I was reading his power too. Okay. This is instant, so maybe we hold up in case we need this.
It's not going to be that likely that we need it. Like, what is the situation? I always like to think, what's the situation that we would need it for? And can you think of one off the top of your head?
A good 4-drop.
Well, we can always untap and kill it, right? It's always You can always untap and cast a removal spell. You can never play your creature the turn after and then have it be able to attack. And well, you can have it block, but it can't attack if we want it to. So it's better to play the creature first.
Gotcha. I'd say still hold Sunblessed Healer.
Yep, hold the healer. It's not getting through this cat, this 1/1 cat. It's better off buying something back.
Yeah, it is worrisome how many cards they have in hand. I'd just take here.
Yep, we're at 22. No need to block. In fact, if we blocked, we wouldn't. It wouldn't be good for us because. So that's a nice one. Wouldn't be good for us because the paladin has first strike.
So see if we can get some good.
So small thing there. It didn't actually matter right there, but better to tap white because then if we draw a land, we can still cast Bake into a Pie if we want to. We're probably not going to be kicking the healer this turn. So, we don't need white. Better to leave up black if we drew that land.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. The manual or the auto tap sometimes gets me, but manual tap those. And then I played the Helpful Hunter first and in the first main just to see what options it gave me.
For sure. I would do that too.
That's all we do there. I don't know if I should. I feel like they have a joust through. But I don't know if we should just swing, get some pressure in there.
They've got something here. We should probably be attacking in the air. So I would attack with the. I would actually attack with everything, to be honest. Like, not with the 1/3 Valkyrie because then the Hawk just attacks his back, so it doesn't matter. So I think exactly, just like that. We're not going to be using Claws Out just yet, I don't think. So.
Okay. Take out one of the Helpful Hunters.
Yeah. And I think, let's see what they do, of course, but, what are they doing? Okay, I was going to say, I think what we want to do is block with the Hunter this turn so we can get it back with the healer and draw another card.
Okay.
That's their plan as well. All right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Block with the hunter. Then we'll do the healer.
Ooh, arena's nice too. Okay. But yeah, we want to do the onboard thing, so let's do the healer. Banner's pretty
Okay.
good too. Cool. Okay. So yeah, we can get in with the angel.
The
Yeah,
one plane's
now
up.
drawing that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, the one plane's up always scares me.
Yeah, I mean it could be the flying trick.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we just take that. So now drafter drawing. Oh, I would just take this here. We're at 22. We don't need to.
Yeah.
Don't need to block. Yeah. Now that we draw the arena, puts us in a really nice spot. Like we've mentioned, they have a lot of cards in hand. So, ooh, okay, that's good too.
Now the question is arena or Alenda?
I still think I would get arena down. It makes you more mana efficient this turn. We can go banner into arena as well, which is pretty nice. We just need to make sure to tap all of our white mana. Oh. No. We can say that's so. There we go. Right. If we don't tap all of our white mana, we have to call black to cast arena. So I think now we just delay casting arena. I would just call white here, because pumping the team, that's important still. Yes, we can't cast arena this turn, but we've made a mistake. We don't double down on our mistakes. We just go, okay, now what's the best thing to do? So we
white.
call white so we can pump the team, and then next turn we'll just cast arena. And I would still attack here. We can get with the angel.
Both angels?
I think just the 3/3, because again, we don't want the lifelinker attacking us back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this whole manual tapping thing is gonna kill me. All right, I got
it
keep
matters.
this in mind.
Yeah, it matters.
It does. It really does.
Ooh, okay, Sarah Angel. That's a nice one.
I mean, I think we're in baking the pie territory here for this Sarah Angel.
Yeah, so we're gonna be gaining a bunch of life with the Alenda. I think it's just better to get that down first. We can bake after for sure.
All right, so get Alinda down.
Yep.
Cool. So not really attacking here because they got a 4/4 in the air.
Yep.
I mean, I guess we could attack with Sunblessed Healer.
If we attack with the healer, they just block with the 1/1, and that's a bad trade, right? So
Yeah.
don't like doing that.
True. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm getting the plus. I was like, where am I getting the +1 from? It's the banner.
Yeah, the banner's doing some good work here. Do we want that on top? I think so. I think we're fine keeping that.
Yeah. This is okay. We could block.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine to block here. Well, here's the thing. If they do have the trick, the +1 and flying and prevent damage, it's pretty annoying. So we could wait till we have bacon a pie up, but we won't have that for a turn or two. So I think it is actually just better to block and say sure, if you have it, you have it.
Yeah. Have it. I was also worried about joust through, but
that's a reasonable thing too. All right, another hawk.
Okay. So 5 mana tough. I really wish we had well, actually we have 6.
We have 6.
So,
yeah, it's not so bad.
So we could double spell with a Dazzling Angel and a Phyrexian Arena.
Could do that. Could also attack. Figure out if we want to attack with Alenda. That's sort of interesting. So if we attack with Alenda, what do you think they're gonna do? How do you think they're gonna block?
They would probably wholesale.
It's like, do you think they just block with everything?
Either wholesale, yeah, block with everything, or a bunch of stuff, or just Sarah Angel.
Yeah.
And then I can claws out.
Yeah, or we could bake into a pie. I think probably better do what you said. Just play the angel, play the arena, be more mana efficient here. That grows our Valkyrie as well.
Yep. And then.
Yep, looks good.
Get this down.
Okay, they still do have a lot of cards in hand.
Yeah.
I wonder what they have. Maybe it's double blue cards or something.
Probably, or they're intimidating. I'll say that much.
It's all a tactic. It's all red cards.
It's all red cards.
Ooh, okay, so this is what we've saved our removal spell for. Yeah, we need to kill this. We can't just let the Exemplar of Light survive.
So definitely block the Healer's Hawk.
Yeah, this is a free block. I guess they just want to draw a card, gain some life here.
Yep. Because they were going to gain the life anyways. Might as well kill the Hawk in the process.
All right,
Okay.
Land's not bad, and Dazzling Angel's not bad too.
Perfect.
Yep.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, I don't know if this is a mistake in play, but I tend to just like get the removal out of the way because I know I'm getting rid of that thing. So just do that, or do I try to be trickier with it?
So it depends. It depends what you're playing around. If you're playing around a counter spell, it's better to do it now. You know, they don't have blue up, right? If you're playing around a protection spell, it's better to wait until their turn so that they have to use the mana on their turn. I think here it's not going to matter that much, and well, it does matter because they could untap and have a counter spell potentially. So I think you're right. Just better to get it out of the way now. Cool.
Nice.
And then cool. Dazzling Angel comes down and grows our Valkyrie.
Okay, now our Valkyrie is actually able to do some defensive work.
Yeah,
here.
Valkyrie's looking pretty good now.
Still wouldn't attack.
Don't think so. Yeah, we don't want to attack with the Valkyrie. They just double block and they have a good block.
Okay, they got a third blue. What does that do for them? A Kaito?
Okay, interesting.
So they'll make something unblockable, that, and then that's going to do damage and increment the Kaito.
Okay. So how do we approach this? Helpful Hunter gains us some life and makes Claws out cheaper. So I think we do that for sure. There's not a world where we don't cast this card first to see what we draw.
Yeah. So we'll get 2 life gain there. Okay, got a Plains. Didn't really help us too much. We could potentially go for some... well, do we have enough to do both? Do we have 7? We have 5. Okay. Or 6. We have 6. I don't know if we... So if we pressure the health...
Mm-hmm.
So full swing with Claws out.
It looks pretty good, honestly, at this point.
Or do we like try to play defensively?
Yeah, we could. Like what we could do is.
But we know they're getting through with 4 every time.
Right,
though.
Exactly. So I think that forces us to actually go for the aggressive line. So I would just attack them at this point, and just see what they do. If they have a removal spell, it could, change the math a little bit here. But I think it's probably a good enough attack. They don't know about the Claws out, so they might make some awkward blocks that don't line up that well against Claws out. I think it's our best bet of winning this game at this point, because now with the Kaito, they're fairly advantaged.
Yeah, and plus I'm getting some life gain off of this. I got 9 life coming my way between Sunblast and Alinda.
Yeah, we're actually going to gain a ton of life this turn because we've got, the 9 life plus the...
Oh, actually, we're going to gain 13. Yeah.
Plus, we've got food on the table, too, if we wanted to crack that, because we can do that with her last 2 mana that we're not using.
Yep.
3 mana, I guess. Well,
all right, Claws out.
If those are their blocks, yeah, this is awesome for us. Let's see if they have anything. Probably a removal spell. Yeah, Luminous Rebuke. That makes sense. That's okay, though. We still get to win a few combats here. Or at least trade. I think we want to kill... probably the Sarah Angel right now. Just 1 less point of damage. So we just drag... Yeah, we can just drag the Angel over. Yeah, that works too. Oh. Either way, yeah. Okay. And they let the Alenda just go, which is really nice too. Okay, so now we're in a really good spot because the life total just completely swapped.
Yep.
So
nope, that was good.
Let's just pass the turn, and I think we should be pretty good.
That was a good swap.
Yeah.
Cleared some board space. We have baked in the pie, so we can get rid of that something.
All right, they make a ninja. Yeah, the
Okay.
bake's probably gonna kill the Valkyrie, I would imagine.
Yeah. Depending on what we get here.
For sure. And I think we can crack food this turn too, as well. Wow, they're attacking. Okay, that's interesting. Makes me think they have removal spells in hand, which, you know, doesn't mean too much for us, just good to know.
I'd probably have a propensity to block here or just let it go through because I have 22 health now.
Yep, exactly. We've got 22 health, no need to block. We don't need to give up our creatures. Our creatures are good for attacking. All right, yeah. We got to do that.
Guardian Air.
Okay, they just had a good ground follow-up. That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, cracker food. Oh.
Oh,
It's okay.
well, moving too quick. So we can still play everything we have though. So
So
what
what is Kaito Ultimate at? Just to keep that on
it's at 9.
on our radar. Okay, we're actually probably not worried about that at all. So yeah, let's just go Savior and start attacking.
Probably Buffy and Alinda and Dazzling Angel.
Yeah, that looks good. Or actually, Alenda and one of the cats, I think, because the cats can then trade with the 3/3 on the ground.
Or could do both the cats and swing with both the cats.
That's reasonable too. So if you do that and they shove everything on Alenda, can you still win the combat? Yeah, they get to trade one of their 2/1 for one of the cats. It's actually, yeah, a pretty interesting spot. Yeah, I like that actually. I like your play. I like going both counters and cats. Just spread out the damage a little bit here.
And then full swing.
Yep, full swing. They have some pretty bad blocks, especially with this bake into a pie. I imagine they're gonna double block, and we get to blow out the double block. Or not. Okay, they're just letting the Alenda go. It's been quite a long game, actually. It's been quite a grind.
Yeah, this has been interesting. Okay, why are they double blocking the cats? I don't understand.
They're playing around another claws out, maybe?
Maybe.
Okay, so here we do want to bake into a pie the 3/3. So that Alenda survives. Yep. Sweet.
I'd kill the 3/3.
Yeah, I would kill the 3/3 here. All right, sweet.
Perfect. Another one? Jeez.
Okay, yeah, it's annoying.
It's good. It's a little annoying, yeah.
And heir apparent.
Okay.
All right. With our arena going, I think we still should be okay. All right.
Yep, looks like it.
How many cards in our deck? That's actually probably an important question to ask here. 13? Okay. So, yeah, we just chill. Can't really do that much. Can't get with the flyer. Attacking with Alenda seems pretty bad. Although, oh, wait, actually. No, it doesn't. Because state-based actions. We're going to go to 30 before Alenda could die. So it's actually good to attack here. So what I would do is attack, I think, with Alenda and the Felidar. We can crack food, and she'll actually get the buff. So they'll need to block with a lot of stuff here to have Alenda die. So okay. I like attacking with Alenda. Sorry, not the Felidar. Just Alenda alone, and see what they do. They might actually mess up the block because it's a fairly unintuitive interaction. And it's our go to say next.
Yeah, I don't want to overclick.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Smart. So we do need to crack our food. That's the important part here. But the way this works is Alenda is going to be, before the game sees, have you been dealt lethal damage, basically. The game goes, oh, Alenda is really big because you gain life. So she won't die. Unless they're blocking in the right way, which is good.
So still do it, though?
Yeah, we still just crack it. This is still a good exchange, exchanging Alenda for all these cards. Yeah, so let's kill the 3s, I guess. Yep.
Do it in that order, get all those 3s out of the way.
Yep. All right, so they blocked in the right way.
I thought that was supposed to trigger a Linda to be like a 10-10.
So it would have if they didn't block with everything. She would have survived because she would have gained life, but because they blocked in the right way, it didn't matter.
Gotcha. Another heir apparent. Okay.
Take your own death. That's a really good one. No, that's actually a good one too.
Cool. So, what do we do here?
I think we can just attack with the angel, and then they block with their angel, and we fake, and then we're in a good spot.
Okay.
Nope.
Do I still do fake?
No, we don't want to use our spell
Just
to deal a little bit
let
of
them
damage.
take the 3.
Yep. Then we play angel.
Play angel.
Exile their grave.
You don't need any of those. Get rid of those.
And now, if they don't attack with their life linkers, we just can go for lethal next turn, right? Cast the fake on the unblocked flyer.
Yep.
Okay. Well, they're gonna gain 1 life, but that's okay.
Yeah, the Phyrexian Arena with the life gain is really kind of coming in handy here.
Yeah, for sure. It's helping us outgrind this Kaido.
They got 12 cards left in the graveyard, and they're probably mostly lands. With how few lands they've actually grabbed.
Interestingly, they discarded a pretty good card.
Yeah.
So the card that they have must be better in hand or more relevant.
Yeah, more relevant to the situation, I guess. Kaito's at 7. Do I have another removal? No.
Banishing Light. Okay, that's still okay. So they're going to Banishing Light the flyer. Yep.
Yep, Angel's gone.
Ooh. Oh, that's lethal, actually. Because we can jump the Felidar and then just fake. Whatever they don't block. Oh, sorry. Not exactly. That's one off. One off lethal, because if they don't block the
Wait, so these are both at instant speed, so I could declare the blocker and then do both of these.
Well,
or declare.
So you need to jump the Felidar first, otherwise they just block on the ground, right? Still a good play to make, but it's not necessarily lethal. So we do that. We attack with both. If they don't block the Felidar, we win, and if they do block the Felidar, then we still get to win the combat and kill them next turn. Okay, so yeah, we just fake here, kill the 3/5.
Yeah, on the Felidar. Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And then we save that and flash.
Yeah,
it in
we
for
can
some
save
blocker.
that. No need to do that here.
All right, so they're not going to get their Kaito activated yet.
Well, I guess they do gain a life here, so it's not exactly lethal. Okay, so we want to cast the reinforcements here to trade with one of these life linkers, the one that they're allowing us to.
Yeah.
And might as well trade with the heir apparent too, actually.
Yep. Get the heir apparent and one of their life linkers. Yep. Kaito's at 10, so now 2 squad ralliers.
2 squad ralliers, yeah. I think Kaito being a 10 is not like, we don't worry about the Kaito because we can just kill them in 2. So let's just attack them with I would say both creatures here, because it's a fine trade if they want to double block.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
rid of both of
Yeah,
those.
let's just play both our ralliers and hope that's enough. I guess we can activate as well. Not right now.
Oh,
No need to. But
yeah, we're a little getting a little low in the library here at
yeah, for
7.
sure.
Okay, they just started to increment
Yeah,
it.
yeah. They need to stay alive, and we did
No,
it.
they surrendered. All right.
Holy, what a game! Oh my
What
goodness.
what a grinder.
So yeah, let's just stop and talk for that. For just purposes of what to take away from that really really long game. I was kind of leading us there, guiding us. But was there anything that I said that kind of pushed back against your own intuition?
I mean, the like when the aggression, like when to be the aggressor
Yeah,
and when to defend. I think I was more a, in a position to defend. In a couple instances where like, no, you should attack.
yeah,
And I did agree with the claws out attack. I thought that was a good one. So I thought, us being on the same page there was good. But yeah, in the most part, I think this is something that we've been talking about is like, when am I the aggressor? When am I in defense? And I don't know when I necessarily have a clear picture of when that is.
mm-hmm.
I think it maybe comes a little bit from the constructed mindset. I'm playing around too much of what they might have in hand. I think I mentioned
Right,
joust through like 13 times and they
yeah,
never had joust through. Um, so yeah, I guess figuring that out, that's probably my biggest struggle.
yeah, for sure. So one thing I will say about what you just said, thinking about cards to play around, it's definitely good to think about cards to play around. But I think right now your constructed tendencies are leading you to overthink about that a little bit, rather than just think of like what looks good at face value. Some people
Yeah.
have the opposite problem, right? Where they never play around anything. But just like we talked about last week, where right now last week we said your tendencies are to be a little bit defensive and start pushing into a little more aggressive a little more often. I would say the same thing about when to play around things or when to expect what they have. It's don't worry too much about it. Don't spend too much mental energy on it. If you've got all your ducks in a row and you're like, I know what I'm going to do for my turn. I know what they could possibly do. Then you can think about, okay, what's the next level? What could they have in their hand? What are the things that might disrupt my plan? But get your own stuff under control first. Basically, get your own game plan locked in first, and then you can think, well, is it terrible? Like, how bad is that plan if they have XYZ card?
I'd say the other one was probably around like the Phyrexian, like when we were going to play that Phyrexian arena.
Mm-hmm.
I would have probably played it a lot earlier,
Right.
just for sort of the exponential card, draw
Mm-hmm.
of it. But then that ended up being the wrong play, and your suggestion was the right play, right? Like we need to press the aggression while we have the aggressive position. Versus me, I think that was even more of a defensive play. Like recurring card draw is a defensive play
Right.
because I'm just trying to keep more cards in hand earlier. So I think it just kind of all circles back into understanding when I'm in the defensive versus the offensive position.
Yeah, so one thing I could say with that is 9 times out of 10 in the early parts of the game, you're just going to want to play your creatures out because it's just so good to affect the board in limited. Like that, just like one of the core tenets of limited for me is just like affect the board, affect the board, affect the board. And so I usually cast my card drawing things after I've done all my card affecting the board things. Right. And so, yeah, like you said, I think that's going to come in time with you, just like kind of training your intuition of when to be more offensive, when to be more aggressive. But it's never a bad idea, or very rarely a bad idea, to just make the play that affects the board, puts more creatures on the board.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when in doubt,
Awesome.
lean towards that, I would say.
Game 3?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I would keep.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah.
Fantastic hand.
And then I'll do the same thing we did last time. Start with Evolving Wilds, crack that for the black because
Yep,
that's the lower one.
for sure.
And then we got good 2, 3, 4 drop here route. So
Yeah, hand's looking
not
really
too
nice.
upset about it. Plus, I always like the free shuffle after the shuffle phase. Okay, go right into Helpful Hunter.
I would have gone Valkyrie here because then we go Valkyrie into Angel and get our counter on the Valkyrie, and then we get to play Savior, and then that pumps the flyers too. So, bit of a I think better play just to play the thing that grows, after we play our 3-drop.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Well, go ahead and swing with this.
Yep. So now, instead of playing the Valkyrie, because we're not going to do that because we have 3 mana, we don't want to spend all our mana, should we play the Paladin or should we play the Angel?
I would probably play the Paladin so that hopefully we could still do the Valkyrie trick a little bit later.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, too, is that this puts more power on board, right? And another little tiebreaker, put the thing that can attack a little bit better on board. At least better
Unless
in
we
the early
got
game.
removal. I don't know if there's... Oh, a braid.
Not sure. Yeah, that's not a huge deal.
Yeah, that also feels better, too, that they took that versus the Valkyrie. Okay. Probably... Well, we'll swing first.
Yep. No reason not to.
Get the attack in. Now Valkyrie.
Yeah, I think so. Our missequencing.
And we have fake your own death if they really...
Exactly, yeah. Unfortunately, this makes us play off curve quite a bit, but I think this is the best thing to do still at this point. And yeah, keeping up fake is nice.
Because this is going to be a nice, powerful card for us. So... Cool.
Okay, that's great.
Let's go ahead and play that.
Yeah.
Hope they don't have another abrade. All right.
Nice.
Get in for 2. And then next turn, if we get... Well, I'll probably play just another Dazzling Angel and then keep the fake your own death again.
They hit their green, so we have... When I might need to respond to their board here, they might play something big and scary.
Okay.
Go from the ashes. All right, that's an interesting one.
They're going to ramp hard, so I'm wondering what they have.
Yeah, maybe a Drakuseth is in the works for us. The dragon that when it attacks deals like a bunch of damage to a bunch of things. So, I actually would, because our position's pretty good. Like we got flyers going. I actually, now we've drawn a flash card. I think I like seeing what they are going to be doing with their 7 mana. And maybe baking it before it can attack. So I would actually just go for an attack this turn with the flyers and just pass.
That makes sense. That is definitely like the difference in the like when to be offensive versus defensive, because I probably would have gone like Felidar or the Angel there, but yeah, you're right. Since they're ramping hard, they could have something pretty scary.
Yeah, like an Atali, a Drakuseth, like all these things that we don't want to see hasted out. Okay,
yeah,
another cavalry. We don't mind that one.
Yeah, we don't mind that one.
But here's the thing: like, it might seem like a bit of a waste not to cast our creatures here, but we're in such a good position, right? We've got 20 life. Yeah, we get to flash and reinforcements, and if we want, yeah, that works too. We could have double blocked the Ruby. I think that's probably a little bit better to do. Like flash and reinforcements, double block Ruby.
Oh yeah,
not a huge deal though.
I was just gonna flash in this at my end step, or their end step.
Yep, we can still do it.
Yeah, I guess flashing that in for the black probably would have been better in general.
Oh, nice. Now we get to fake. Okay. So now we don't have to worry about stupid big hasty thing. We know they don't have it. Unless, they don't have it in their hand. We actually are probably in a good enough position still where we might want to consider still just leaving it up. So the difference is that we kill them in 2 turns versus 2 turns versus 3. But that's not even true because I'm just talking about some thoughts here, but we could attack for 5, leave up bake, untap, play savior, and kill them. So I think that's probably the best thing to do here.
Okay. So we'll swing with these for 5. And then next turn, savior will be lethal.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they get big stompy thing. But now we have bacon the pie. So that's not a big stompy thing.
Okay, well, it might find a big stompy thing.
We could find it. They don't have enough to activate it.
They do actually, right? Because they can.
Oh yeah, with Ruby. Okay. Does it have to do damage?
No, they have to. They pay 6, and they can find. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they can do it at instant speed. That works.
okay. I don't know why they're not doing it.
Oh, weird. Yeah, why are they attacking like this? Yeah, that's
Double block?
strange. Yeah, I think a double block's fine.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, yeah, they have enough mana to do it with Ruby. Huh.
Okay, yeah, we just go to our turn.
Okay. Felidar for lethal.
Yep. And they can no longer activate loot, so we're good. Yeah, they definitely had a line there. They could have like activated a loot, unless I'm missing something. I think they could have activated a loot, hasted out the thing that they found too, if it was a thing with a good attack trigger. All right, well we'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, they could have. Does that go to the battlefield? Yeah, it goes onto the battlefield.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so quick little takeaway from that game is just knowing when you can be conservative and when to leave something up. It's when you're already in a spot where you're in a very good spot. You're just like, hey, I'm going to win this game if things just keep going my way. That's when you can be like, well, I might need to leave this removal spell up because of XYZ reason. You don't need to keep adding to the board at that point.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I didn't feel incredibly compelled to do bake in the pie at any time.
No, for sure.
I might have if I'm just moving quickly. But as soon as I saw the ramp, I was like, yeah, we should hold up.
Yep.
Not my favorite start, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's passable. No angels, none of our better cards. But has a removal spell. Has a place to put our mana. Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Now, this is a question. Would you play the Helpful Hunter or the Reinforcements?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question here. I think probably the Helpful Hunter. Just so you can start hitting land drops, give us better options of what to play next turn.
Yeah, I agree. I like the card draw early.
That's a nice draw.
Yeah, we can gold pick into an equip and then swing. And get a treasure token.
Yay.
Help with the ramping.
Yeah.
Now what do they got? Onto their 3-drop. Marauding. Perfect.
Okay.
I would probably still swing here.
Yeah, for sure. This is a good trade for us, and I don't think they're gonna block, but if that's fine either way. If they block, great. If they don't, we got treasure. We're pretty happy.
And then we can play Squad Rallier for a blocker.
I would play the Angel of Finality, I think. Just like get something in the air. Something evasive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It also blocks, just as
well.
Yeah,
it is also a 3/4.
If they want to kill this, that's totally fine. Yep.
Very nice. Hero's Downfall. Don't see a lot of those.
Yeah, and if they were to kill one of the things here, the Rallier or the Flyer, I think we prefer them kill the Flyer because the Rallier, it draws us cards.
Now, would you flash this in and double block?
Don't think so. This Blight Priest just isn't that, not that threatening. We don't want to spend our treasures.
Let's go ahead and swing. Get some more treasure tokens. We could double cast an Arena and a Squad Rallier.
Yeah, that looks great here. That's a good use of our treasure. So, one thing I am thinking here that we're in the 3-0 or 4-0 brackets. I think we've won a few games. You tend to want to play around some rares at this point, or at least start thinking about them anyways. And with the Blight Priest on the table, I'm sure you're maybe thinking the similar thing. What's a rare that combos really well with the Blight Priest?
The Infinite Life combo.
Yeah, so there's a chance we want to leave a bake on a future turn.
I don't know. This is a shady attack with mana up, so I'm just gonna let it go through.
Yeah, they clearly have something, so we'll just it's totally fine.
See what we get in the second main here. A Banishing Light.
On the arena? On the
Ooh,
squad rallier. Wow, okay. Interesting.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, good draws.
Play this
Yep.
guy. Get more tokens.
So one thing to keep note of is now we know they've got something, right? They've got a combat trick, whatever it is, something to keep their priest alive. So as I'm updating my thoughts of what the opponent has and what they're up to, combat trick is now something I'm putting in their hand. Ooh, they pilfer us. Okay, so what do we want to do about that?
I mean, I'd probably get choose a non-land card. I'd probably just get the bodies out.
So we can only do one. I think it's probably better to bake this Blight Priest. Because the
Yeah.
bodies aren't doing all that much here. They're just 1/1s. I guess you can equip them with the pick and they'll be 2/2s, but we're going to be drawing more spells here with this arena. Not a huge deal. I rather distract from their board, make sure we have a clean block or clean attacks going forward.
Yeah, plus the life gain is nice because we're getting a little low.
Yeah, a
But
little bit low. Not a huge deal, but a little bit low. Land and... Ooh, that's a good one.
yeah. Let's go ahead and play this bad boy. Put it on those two. Okay, there's the stab.
Sure. So now we can move over the equipment to the angel. Sweet.
And then would you play this land?
Yeah, we're good. We're drawing cards, so you just want to be able to play all your lands. Like they're not gonna play any differently with one card in hand. I don't think.
Also, they're getting mana screwed quite a bit.
Yeah,
So
they've missed lands for quite a few turns here.
they can't even kick that. So that's just gonna be a 3/1.
Yep. And we can crack the food here. I don't think there's any reason not to. Oh, nice.
Swing with that, and then guess I goes with both of those.
Yeah, looks good.
Get in for 4.
I think it's even fine to attack with the Felidar because then the Alenda has a better chance of getting in on the ground. Oh, and then slightly better to go the opposite way too, right? Angel first and then Alenda, just to gain a life from the second Angel. We went Alenda into Angel.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Small things that likely will not matter in this game, but for future games where things might be tighter. Oh.
Nice emote. Nice emote.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I have any emotes. Yeah, I haven't turned on any of them.
That's okay. It's for the best.
What do we got, guy? Well, now they have access to like a bacon to pie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, an angel finality. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think that's really gonna help them too much.
No, they have to jump in the air with that.
Evolving Wilds.
And okay. So probably a fine spot to just attack all still.
Yeah, full swing wins.
Well, not exactly because they have lifelink on the 3/1, but I think it's still a good spot to just attack all. They're gonna have to make some awkward blocks.
Oh yeah, the lifelink. Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah, what we could have done is just attack with the Dazzling Angel and force them into a chump with the 3/4. But I think pushing the few points of damage that we're pushing here, that matters too to some degree. So
Yeah.
either line's fine, I think.
Plus, it's removing any board state that they currently have. Okay, unless they do this.
So they eat our Felidar and they go to 1.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. Crack this.
Yep.
No, what maybe something else they could have is they could have that board wipe, the sorcery board wipe.
If that's the case, we're still in a really good spot though, because we've got Phyrexian Arena going, so not too worried about that.
Soul Shackle. All right, they're gonna gain more life.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna go to 3. which means they should be dead because we can just move over the gold vein pick to the 2/3.
Yep. Should I pop this too for Alinda?
Yep, no reason not to crack the food in this deck. We don't have any like when you gain life kind of cards. Nice.
Okay.
And a landed two. A landed two. Oh, we definitely want to attack with a landed two, or else it's not lethal.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry, the flyers. My bad. Second flyer.
I was like, what did I miss? What did I miss?
So there is a reason not to do that though, because they could have the flying trick too, right?
Oh yeah.
They could have jumped their zombie. It was lethal, if that's not the case though.
Perfect.
Sorry, I jumped the gun on what I was saying. All right, great. So we're what, 4-0? Awesome.
Yeah, 4-0. That's mathematically where we want to be.
Yeah,
57%.
exactly. Right.
No, that game was I think pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think so too.
Nothing too crazy there. They obviously got mana screwed for much of the game, and I think we were thinking the right stuff. Throughout, maybe still a little too defensively, thinking about some of the stuff that they could potentially have. I don't like that there's not a black in this, but it does give us a 2-drop into a 3-drop. My propensity would be to keep.
Yeah, especially because we do have black mana with the gold vein pick, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. Get the gold vein pick out. Get Dazzling Angel.
Nice.
Stop getting lands anytime now.
No scatter, or no, no instant scatter there. That's nice. Blue-green.
Yep.
All right, we might be facing a Zimone or a Coma. Let's see.
Okay. Would we equip and swing, or do you think get the Angel Finality out?
So we can do both, right? If we equip, we get to make a treasure.
And we have Fake Your Own Death if I do this too. Play Boom. Okay.
Okay, well, we can no longer do both, but that's okay.
All right, that's fine. That just taps it. I was like, what? I thought it bounced it, but tap. Okay.
So that one bounces it. All right, yeah. At
least it's not dead.
Yep, not dead.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so now we can go Angel into Hunter. If you go, wait. We want to spend all our mana this turn, right? So better to have gone Angel into the Hunter, and then that's 5 mana worth of things to do.
They're both Angel.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I said Angel. I should have been more specific.
No, I was like, I did do Angel. What are you talking about?
Should have said Dazzling Angel.
Yes, Dazzling Angel into that. It would have been the better move. Yep,
still a fine play this turn, making a 4/5 flyer. Interesting. What is this? So, what can deal an additional 4? Huh.
At instant speed, it's not like Overrun or Rampant Growth.
They could have 2 tricks, I guess. I'm fine with just blocking here, and like I think they have to have 2 cards for this to make sense.
They just wanted to scare me, apparently.
Oh, they just wanted to attack. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. We did what we did then.
Okay. Now. Probably. Well, I don't have. Oh, I do. I have 5. Probably Hunter into Banner.
I would just go Angel into Hunter, I think. Just Banner. Yeah, Banner would be okay too, but I think seeing the new card off of Hunter is what we want to do here. Cool.
Gotta land. Maybe I would pressure with Angel Finality.
Yeah, I like attacking here. For sure, because then we can have Fake Your Own Death up as well.
Yeah, then we get the treasure token. Cool. I don't know how much they actually have for like killing spells with blue-green. It's a lot of bouncing.
So I think this is probably a good spot to use fake. Just like block with the hunter, trade with the big fin. If they kill the hunter, that's kind of fine. We've got our card off of it already.
Yeah, if they bounce it or something.
Yeah, like say they go, yeah, any bounce spell is fine. Okay,
Oh,
refute,
or
counter
refute.
spell, fine. They made us chump basically, which is not that big of a deal.
And then they had to loot, so okay. Manually tapping.
Ooze. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Too.
So definitely play banner.
Yep.
Make this white. We can play that second main. Would you swing with both?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely want to be ending the game when they have Scavenging Ooze and a flyer.
Yeah, that puts them on a 2-turn clock.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised they didn't block with the fairy.
Yeah, me too. Little bit surprised.
Then we get a little bit of life.
Yeah, they get a little bit of life.
And then you're gonna take my cat.
Yeah, so how many creatures are in the graveyard? I'm just kind of mathing out how much life can they gain, and it's actually not much. Yeah, that was just that. So
yeah, they got the one. It was the cat.
Ooh, they drew a black source too. I wonder what that's about. All right, we just take this.
All right, no blocks. Unless they do an overrun and then they win.
Well, okay, that's a sorcery, so we're good.
Is Preposterous Proportions also a sorcery?
Yep, I think so.
Dreadwing.
Okay.
Okay. Do a little bit of loot. Kick a land card. Nope. Ooh. Actually loot.
Loot, yeah. It looted into loot. Okay, so let's think about this for a second, because we can't just kill them this combat, and they have the potential to kill us around the crackback. So we do have to be a little bit careful here. We're getting some life with this Dazzling Angel, and we should cast that because it's going to grow the Valkyrie. But we have to be careful about how much stuff we attack with here.
Yeah, let's do that. Get the life gain, and we'll get the Youthful Valkyrie pumped up. Do I have... Oh, yeah. I can't afford Claws Out, too.
Yeah, we could do that. We could also just not attack this turn and attack them with everything next turn. I think I would at least attack with one thing, though. Like, at least getting with the Angel of Finality.
Okay. All right, and then they're hovering over their hand. I got something.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
If it's a bounce spell, we can just recast it. Okay, they just take it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's scary. That does mean that they probably have an interaction spell. So we should equip the axe. Okay, voyage. Yeah, we should have equipped the axe to something here, so we can block a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't
top
want
or bottom.
Yeah, we don't want a 1/3 here. And I think this is just lethal if they attack with everything, right? So we'll pass the turn here, of course, and let them do their thing. But I think they have it if they just attack. Yep, that's it.
So if I block the two biggest things, they're still getting through with 6.
Yep.
Yeah. This doesn't give me any lifesteal or anything. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's the game. Okay, so yeah, that one I think it was just a good back and forth. There wasn't too much I don't think there's a big, well, we should have done this kind of takeaway from this one. The opponent just had some good cards. We had some good cards. We played them out fairly.
Oh, it's always still. It was a close game. I felt like I had it. Maybe not enough attack that last turn.
Well, if
and
we
held for the
so
defense.
the problem is if we don't attack, then we're not pressuring and we're not closing the game out, and then their advantage with the scavenging is basically right.
Right.
So I don't actually think like you can always if you look at the opposite and be like, well, we could have maybe not attacked. That puts us in a bad position too, right? We want to put ourselves in a position where if they don't have the removal spell, we win next turn.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, it's always that hindsight 2020, right? You
Yeah,
don't know what they
absolutely.
have in the moment, and since they didn't have some like crazy pump spell or anything like that, it would have been better to hold, but we didn't know, right? So that it's always good to keep in mind. Uh,
Pretty awkward hand.
it is awkward, but it does give us access. Well, we want that to be white.
Yeah, we really want to call white on banner. I think I would probably mulligan this one. I think it's just
Yeah.
awkward enough. Okay, this is
All
pretty
right.
good.
We'll keep that pitch of planes,
Mm-hmm.
and then oh yeah,
Nice.
okay. Getting our two helpful hunters out right away. Help make up for the mulligan. I see 2U or a provisioner of the helpful hunter. Okay, all right. We got our second black source now for bacon to the pie. Oh, we got cat
Ooh,
deck.
that's a rough one. Okay, okay. Well, what do we do about that? So, I think what I would do is probably just pass the turn, try to fake this cat, and then obviously we untap and kill our Abo. But yeah, I like just passing here rather than playing the cat because we maybe can get the Arabo for lucky.
Yeah. Try to get a little outsized exchange here with Faker on Death plus another card draw.
All right, yeah. Yeah, even if they attack like that, we're happy just to fake.
Okay. Did you do the token or their own helpful hunter?
It's a good question. I think probably the token because they can't buy the token back.
Right. Get some more card draw. Perfect. Now the question is, do I bake the Arabo or the Vanguard, or do I just play the cat and the Paladin?
Yeah, I think it's probably better just to play the cat and the paladin. Like, we don't know that they have more cats coming. If they do, yeah, it's annoying. We have a 3/3 though. I rather just see how things shake out here because if we kill the Arabo and it's just a 2/2, pumping this other 2/2 or this 1/1, and they play something better, or we have to deal with this flyer, which we probably will eventually.
Yeah.
We're gonna be pretty sad. Okay, looks like they don't have any more cats in hand, so I think we made the right choice there.
No more cats for now.
Great, yeah, for now.
What do you got for one though? They might have a stab.
Yeah, it looks like stabs potentially. Oh, it's eaten alive. It looks like because they're gonna sack their vessel.
Or eaten alive. Yeah, they could. Yep, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's gonna come back as a 3/4/3. Yep.
Yeah, I think we
Double
just
block
take
their cat, or
I think I would just take this. The cats are holding back Arabo. All right, so not a great spot. I think we just need to kill something, and probably gonna be the Vanguard because that thing flies over. The vessel hits us for a bit more, but we can always find a way to block the vessel on the ground eventually.
yeah. Then just hold.
Yep.
Hold.
Okay, now I think we probably do block the help hunter double block here. Since we didn't draw anything this turn.
Let's see if they have some sort of combat trick.
Nope.
Okay. Infestation Sage.
All right. Okay, we are stable-ish. Like, if we just kill this vessel and gain some life. So, yeah, I would just go kill the vessel, pass the turn. They have an instant, so maybe a removal spell.
Just do this now.
Yeah, we can wait. We can do it at the end of their turn.
All right. Okay, so we're sitting on 6 life, so we really have 13. I feel like I should do it just in case they pump it.
Well, there's always a window to do it afterwards, right? So like if they
Yeah.
pump. The only reason you would want to do that is if they were playing red, they have a burn deck because they can like burn you out in response to the food. That's where you might want to do it before combat actually goes through. Ooh, okay. All right, all right. Now we're cooking. We can also play our pick this turn.
Yep. Player pick, and then we still have our food. Okay, what do you got?
So make your move, maybe? No, no make your move.
Okay. Stop at their instep here. Nothing died.
Okay, well, gotta draw something real good now.
Land's not that good.
Land? Okay, Rallyer's like pretty good. Yeah, we play that, and we can activate and equip too. So we don't have any 1-drops. Oh, we don't have any 1-drops, so it's better just to equip first, right? Because then we're leaving up mana that they might play around something, or we might pick something different based on what they did on their turn. So because there's no actual things we could draw right there, better to wait.
Yeah.
Okay, and they can thing. All right, close game, close game. They played a good rare into a good curve.
Oh, that's rough. Okay.
All right, GG's.
Good game. Yeah, that was again, I think that one was pretty, they just kind of got outvalued, flooded a little bit when we didn't need to.
Yeah, like we took a mulligan too for what it's worth, right?
Yeah. The double cats helped though make up for the mulligan,
Mhm.
which wasn't terrible. Outside of that, I don't know. I don't think there was really anything else crazy there. I felt good about when we were attacking and defending. It just we weren't given a lot to work with in that particular run.
Yeah, like that's one thing too. Is just you're gonna lose sometimes to your deck like functioning and like that. I don't think our deck was like, oh man, we're mega flooding or anything. Sometimes the
Right.
cards just don't line up, right? They have a slightly better draw, whatever. Some things are out of your control. It's always good to ask yourself first before you go, oh, variance, I was out of my control. What could I have done? Of course, but also a good skill to recognize, hey, there actually wasn't anything I could have done there.
Yeah. And we're getting, as you said, we're deeper into the wins too. So we're getting decks, or we're going up against decks that are going to have more synergy.
Yep.
They're going to have better cards.
Yep.
I'd say I'd take this.
Yeah, this is good.
And so that's something we have to be on the lookout to.
Absolutely.
Also, apparently, I'm going up against diamond players.
That's a good sign. It means that.
Leave me alone. I'm over here in platinum. Like,
no, it's a good thing. It means that the game thinks you're ready for it. Oh, so here's a good spot. The opposite, right? Where before it was like we have no other 2-drops to play. Let's just play our healer. Here it's like, oh, we have a 2-drop to play, so let's not play the healer.
Yeah. So go ahead, play that.
Oh, we can flash that in. We can play it on the opponent's turn.
Yeah. That's another thing. I get a little ahead of myself sometimes and just like, I'm like, yeah, I know it has flash, but also whatever.
It matters. It really does. I think you're giving up some value, some percentage points by not waiting. Like in a lot of spots it won't, but in some spots it matters.
Gotcha. Play banner?
Yep, I like playing better, and I think attacking with one of these things, or maybe just could attack with both. Let's attack with the token. I think just the 2/1, and then we'll try to block the Cerberus on the way back down. Nope. Okay, they just trade. Fine. Oh, or not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are we trading?
Oh, we are. Okay, great. Well, that's good for us. Trading for half a card.
Yeah, I mean that Cerberus is scary.
Yeah.
And I know some people just like don't know how to get it to work, but I basically was attacking with that thing every turn.
Kellen. Okay, so that makes some sense.
Okay. How big can Kellen get? It's 3/2 with first strike. So I'd probably put the Rallier or.
Yeah, I like playing Rallier here. And I think I'd also just we don't attack here. Maybe they attack into us, and then we can just bring back the reinforcements with the healer.
Yeah, I like it.
Because
They're gonna buff that, and then they'll be able to buff it next turn. So it's gonna be a 3/2 fairy first strike. It doesn't have flying though.
no, the nice thing is that if they, okay, they're not. Ooh, they play Ashford Animus. Okay, that's a scary one.
Another target creature you control gets +X until in a turn where X is the creature's power. Or is this creature's power? So that's gonna just buff that.
Yep.
Um. Hmm. +X. So this is gonna become a 6/5.
It's gonna be a lot of double strike. So I think we just need to try to block and hope they don't have a removal spell. Basically, I don't think there's any chance of us racing here.
Okay.
Or they don't have a removal spell or a pump spell. Yeah, I think it's just a forced block at this point.
So play Dazzling Angel.
Yep, play Angel. We also get to activate the Rallier at the end of turn.
And their turn,
Yeah,
or should I do
their
that?
turn. Again, no reason to tap out before. No need to let them know, hey, we have nothing.
Yeah. That makes sense. I guess I gotta have myself again with just trying to just spend it all, right?
Yeah.
And playing the mind game a little bit
Yeah.
is
Like I said, it
gonna
does
be
matter.
important.
Okay, so now we activate because we have to do it or else we lose it. Didn't find anything. That's okay. Bought some cards that are not amazing anyways. And yeah, if they attack here, yeah, we're gonna block this Animist. We can't afford for this thing to.
Double block the Animist?
Yeah, I think we have to. If they have a removal spell trick, they kind of get us. But yeah, it's just force. We can't allow them to deal us 10 every turn. Okay, Burst Lightning. We're gonna get that back. Try to block again.
Evolving Wilds for them. Okay.
Ooh, how lucky. Okay, so that's actually interesting because both of these cards are problems. Which one should we kill? Man.
Probably Ashru Animus, because at the most this is gonna do 6 damage if they buff it. Versus. Yeah.
I think we should actually kill the Kellen instead because the Animus can be blocked on a future turn. Like we can just block and kill it. The Kellen needs another removal spell, or else it's going to be a double striker that we can't kill. Right? So I think it is actually just better to kill the Kellen right now.
So if they don't have anything, I don't think red does.
No, red can't have a protection spell. So basically, yeah, the plan here is like we take 4, we healer back the 1/1's next turn, and then hopefully that's enough.
It has to be another creature, so it can't be this creature.
Yeah, it can't buff itself.
Yeah. Okay, so take 4. Should I pop the food token?
Yep. Again, wait till the end of turn.
Yeah. Heartfire Emulator. All right, we're just gonna cast a whole bunch of cards.
Yeah, so pretty tough. The Emulator can kill our lifelinker. Oh, Alenda. All right. So what does that do for us? Is it good enough?
They don't have removal.
It's gonna be a 5/4 lifelink. So no, so the problem here is it just dies, right? I mean, it doesn't just die, but they attack, they pump the Immolator. The Immolator sack's going to be a 6-power creature, so they can just kill it. So, yeah, we just play the Sunblessed Healer, get back the 2/1s, and go about our day like that.
Yeah.
And then actually, hopefully, what happens by the end of this turn is Animist is dead, 2/2 is dead because they killed the 4/1, and then we just get to play Alenda, and hopefully that, we do some good stuff from there.
Manual tapping.
They're casting a big thing though. Yeah, let's see what this is. Elvish Regrower. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, then they're gonna go get it. Yep.
Okay. And then I think they probably kill the healer here, I would guess. And then we just We don't just die, but we go to 3. Yeah, so we double block the animist. Oh, sorry, this has trample too, so we go to 1.
Yep.
Arena,
Okay.
not what we want to draw, but we play Elenda. That'll keep us alive. Ah, yeah, their
Another
deck looks
Elvish
pretty
Rejoice.
good.
Way to top deck another Elvish, dude.
Yeah, to be fair, they were already in a really good spot, so I don't think it really mattered too much, but yeah, that'll do.
Uh, yeah, because that's 6. I'm gonna gain 5.
Yeah, no matter where we block, it's lethal damage.
Oh, that's no fun. Well,
pretty good
then
run
again,
still though. Like right, like you said, 4 wins is where you want to get to. Like that's a win rate to be happy about, be proud about. Feels bad to see the bar going the opposite direction, of course, but
yeah.
again, it's just like I said at the beginning. Don't worry too much. As long as you got to 4 wins, like that's where you want to be. Let's do a bit of a breakdown. So this was a lot at once. A lot of just like back and forth. A lot of me narrating my thoughts on what to do. A lot of you, giving your thoughts, and we kind of just mix those two up and come to some sort of conclusion in the game. But now that we're out of the games, anything that you want to leave for yourself, kind of just to be like, hey, this was, here were some spots that I'm doing this, or Alex said this, pretty often, or for those at home, just like any takeaways you want to wrap up here.
Yeah, I think it boils down to a few. So most interestingly is I've realized my mental block, and my mental block is when is the defensive versus offensive position. And even when it comes to things like card draw or order of like my creature play, I'm doing it from a defensive position.
Yeah.
So we talked about that Phyrexian arena play. I was like, oh yeah, get cards early, but that's a defensive mindset versus get a threat on the board where now I'm swinging for 4 next turn versus 1 next turn.
Yep.
And but now I have card draw. A similar thing with like when I was going to play a cat for a card draw early versus like no, get a bigger threat on the on the board. So that it's really kind of shining a light on sort of my mental barrier and weakness is that defensive versus offensive play. And so it's definitely giving me something to think about. And this also it all bleeds into this defensive thing, but is that whole concept of that my constructed mindset where I'm playing around cards way too aggressively.
Right.
Like I'm playing like they have 4 essence scatters or 4 refutes, in hand, or 4 joust throughs. Like, but I'm like, no, this is not the case. Like they might have one. So what you said, which was really interesting, it was the get your game plan in order first, and then think about what they might have, and adjust if there's any adjustment to do, or just be willing to go, okay, hey, they might kill this, and that's fine. But now we pulled it out of their hand, and they're very unlikely to have a second, let alone a third, of that type of response.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Those are kind of been the big ones, but like I said, they all kind of bleed back to this defensive versus offensive thought process. So it was really nice to be able to like bounce my thoughts off of you to go, okay, hey, would you play this in this order versus this order? Also, just being like incredibly mana efficient is so important in limited, way more so than constructed. I mean, it's important in constructed, but it's like you're working with a lot smaller margins, I think, in limited a lot of times.
Yeah, and often in constructed, you have some pretty like pointed answers in your deck for it's like, well, I'm being mana inefficient this turn, but I really, really need to, kill their shield druid or whatever with my 2 mana rather than play my 4 mana spell. That happens in limited too sometimes. You're like, yeah, I just have to kill that thing. But yeah, I think in constructed a little more often you're like, this spell lines up well against their spells. I'm not being mana efficient, but that's kind of okay. In limited, it's much more just like who can spend the most mana, who can outspend. That is really going to dictate in the majority of games who wins the game.
Yeah, it's really interesting too. What I've like, we all know it's a different game to play limited versus constructed,
Yeah.
but the thing about constructed is that you are playing to a meta,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have a known enemy with a known quantity, and so you can play that back and forth a little bit more, like hold back and be a little bit more defensive, so that you can get the tempo lined up between, your play between this other person whose deck and your deck is reasonably built to counter that meta, right?
Totally.
So it's there to compete and be in the arena
Yes.
with that deck, versus limited is like, you have no idea what they had. They could be some crazy guy that has 8 infestation sages in his
Mm-hmm.
deck. Like, so you don't know what they could potentially have. So you're playing with averages of the cards almost in a bubble.
Yeah.
Because we were looking at that. What was the specific win rate that we needed to keep in mind?
The game in hand win rate, is that what the
Yep.
for 17
Yep.
lands? Yeah.
Yep, the game in hand win rate number actually comes into a lot more effect, because it's almost this amorphous thing. It's like we're just playing in a pool of numbers, um, based off of the performances of the card given the entire set
Yeah.
versus given a constructed deck, right? So
Exactly.
it's a really interesting way to think about the game. Is like, we're literally just like this math puzzle. I'm going to plug this thing
Mm-hmm.
that has a better percentage into this situation and see what actually happens. Um, and that's kind of how you have to play, because there's a whole draft pool. You don't know what they had, what they got, and what you're playing up against, in any given moment.
That's exactly how I think about it too. Like it is when you break it down. When I talk about Magic, when I do my podcast and my stream, I'm talking about it in words, in English words. But really, the calculations that are going on are yeah, exactly that, calculations. Like you're taking averages, you're taking this card's pretty good, or this card's pretty bad. But when you pair it with this card, it adds up to something better. Like you're doing that kind of background math. And yeah, 17 lands. I'll sing the praises of 17 lands all the time, or just any tracker that gives you data. Like those are what give you the numbers to plug into your calculations. It's not the end all be all. It's not the only part of how Magic works, of course, but it's a pretty big one.
Especially in limited, I've just noticed, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously there's a ton of math to go on in constructed as well, but it's a different feeling. And I think if you come from a constructed world, be that commander, be that, standard, modern, pioneer, whatever, and then you try to like break into draft, you have to think about it much much differently, and you're really thinking about quality of cards first, and then secondarily to that is the synergy of that you're building around those quality cards. And then when you're playing it against an opponent, you have to realize it truly is the wild wild west. Like, you don't know what you're running into over the hill, right? Is it a Gatling gun, or is it, 6 cowboys with their 6 shooters, right? Like, what do I bring to this battle? And all you can do is leverage a knowledge of the set, your experiences, failing a lot up front, right? You're gonna fail a whole bunch, and then just starting to learn and doing your research. Like, I like going through the draft replays and seeing those game in hand win rates, and seeing which cards are actually performing, and that will actually help guide you not only in the drafts, but then how you play the cards and what you should be on the lookout for. And then, fun part, you get to do it all again when the next set's released, right? So
Exactly. Yeah, that
um,
is truly the everlasting nature of limited. It's just like, you think you solved it? Guess again, buddy.
I felt so good at Dustborn when I met you at MagicCon. I was like, yeah, man, I've got like 30 plus drafts in. I've done all my study research. I knew the set. I knew the set inside out, but it started with sealed. And I was like, I have one of the worst sealed pools I've ever seen in my life. I think I had like 2 rares, no mythics. Like, it was crazy. And you have to show up and you do your best
Yep.
still, knowing the set. Like, I knew what my
Exactly.
opponents could have, what they're playing around. And then it all flips, right? You jump into foundation and do it all again. But that's, I think, some of the nature of the fun of it is it's an ever evolving format within Magic is the limited. And it takes building a foundation and a core around how do you analyze a set, how do you start to understand which cards are powerful, which ones are good, so that you can be competitive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Extremely well put. I think a good place just to call it for today. I think this was, a good draft through and through. The good stuff to take away from the draft, good stuff to take away from the gameplay. And even if we can't put everything that we just talked about in the gameplay into like a nice bite-sized takeaway, here's what you do here in this situation, because Magic's more complex than that. You just can't. I
Mhm.
think a lot of just exactly just the back and forth that we had, you bouncing ideas off of me, is exactly how you want to train your intuition. So I'm hoping that's you feel like that's what's being done here.
Absolutely. I think everybody, if you have the opportunity to, I talk a lot about this in my channel, is that you have to realize you can only go so far alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes, if you are able to, I highly recommend folks to coach, get coaching lessons. I do it professionally. I do it personally. I do it with my passions, like I'm doing here right now. I banged my head against the wall for 2 full sets, not getting past Platinum 4. And we actually peaked Platinum 2. We went down one with the three losses in a row, but we got into Platinum 2, getting further than I've ever been through, at the very least, bouncing ideas off somebody. But I was fortunate enough to be able to work with Alex here and get lessons, get insight from a top limited player. I highly encourage everybody, take coaching, do lessons where you can, and if you can't, just talk to your friends that are also doing limited and bounce ideas off of each other and strategies, because that's the way you're going to get better faster.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. So I'll just leave us with if you would like to check out Brian's channels, all the links are in the description of this video. Half Pump, like I mentioned. And Brian, what do we say about this channel now that we've made it to the end of the video?
I say it every time. If you haven't done so, we've made it this far. Like, subscribe, leave a comment
There
below.
you go.
It's the easiest way you can support limited level ups. I don't know what else to say other than I'm super appreciative of Alex and his time and working with me on this cool little project, as
Yeah.
well as on most importantly, we said it up front, was like, we want to get you better at drafting. The YouTube stuff that we do is going to be kind of secondary to that. I'm like, I'm okay with that because that's really what I'm here. But I think we can also do some cool content, and I hope everybody else is enjoying it as well.
Yeah, same here. So I'll say goodbye to everybody out there, and thanks, Brian, for hanging out this week. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. All right, that was pretty good.